everything in your life right now is because you manifested it. Positive, negative, otherwise, whatever. You did it. It's not nobody else's fault. That's you as an adult. This is your life. You created it through your thoughts, feelings, actions, beliefs, movements.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're good at creating. We're not good at controlling what we create.
Solomon,
Hey.
psychotherapist,
Yo.
neuro-linguistic programmer.
Programmer. Yeah.
Oh, I need neuro-linguistic programming. My God. No. Now, like, this is the fourth time on Curious Now, I think.
Is it
Is it
four?
four? We had the initial. We
Or maybe
had
three.
Fee-Fi. We've had,
True.
this is the fourth.
It is.
Fee-Fi.
Oh, it is too.
Yeah.
I forgot about Fee-Fi.
Fourth
Fourth
time.
time.
Yeah. Most regular guest.
Oh,
Yeah, you
right.
actually are. Like,
All right.
you and David the Medium.
Yes.
But one of our most listened episodes, you and David the Medium. Always.
Because
Oh,
you
that's really
provide
cool.
so much value.
That's really cool.
Everyone knows we also do Indy Clinton's podcast, and you featured on that.
Yes.
And we're privy to the feedback, and everyone's just, you blow people's mind with how you explain a situation and how to change someone's life. How, like, they might be feeling a certain thing, and you explain why they're feeling it and how to change it.
Right.
And that's why I think that Tully and I get along with you so well. I work with you, Tull works with you.
Yep.
You have an ability to change people's life.
That's a really
Thank
good
you.
compliment, isn't
Isn't
it?
that?
Yeah.
What a way to start. Thank you so much. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
what a way to start.
there you
Thank
go,
That means a lot. Thank you so much.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you
And
haven't
that's great
listened,
feedback.
yeah, it is good feedback. And if you haven't listened to any of our podcasts with Sol, rewind back and have a listen. And also on Sleep Deprived, because I love that episode as well. So if anyone's listening, go back. And
Which one, Tom?
The Indy Clinton one. I
Oh, the
love
sleep deprived
that.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
why should I see a therapist? I think that's cool.
Yes, exactly.
And by the end of it, she was like, shit, I need to see a therapist.
she was. But
Yeah.
thank you for coming on again today.
Oh, it's okay. No worries. Thank you for having me. It's good to be back. It's great to be back.
You're
Nice
in
to
a
be
new
back in Melbourne.
studio. Oh, I know. It's
Yeah.
cold, isn't it?
But Tully, what did you want to talk about today?
Well, today we had a session with you last night, so I feel like maybe
Yeah, we
that
did.
can kind of go into what we want to talk about today. But originally what I wanted to speak about was anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a session with Sol last night and some interesting things came up for me that I'd been feeling during the week. And then we spoke about that. And I don't know, I'd kind of like to talk about that a little bit as well as the anxiety, because I think a lot of listeners, the way you explained to kind of overcome that or work on that made sense to me.
Yes.
And I think it will make a lot of sense to a lot of listeners and viewers, because I think we all suffer from what I suffer. Well, I shouldn't say suffer, should I?
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. Some people can really suffer with their anxiety if they're just not aware of what's happening inside their body, or if they've pushed it so far back
Yep.
that they're not able to listen to what their body's trying to tell them. 'Cause
What is anxiety?
it's a feeling like
Yeah.
anything else, but it's a feeling that doesn't always it doesn't work on logic. Like if you almost get hit by a car, you understand why you jump, right? It's clear, it's present, it's right in front of you. The nervous response kicks in. Your body tells you, hey, that's dangerous. Look out, whatever. And you can rationalize that. You can kind of understand what it is. But I think the big difference with anxiety is it's a perceived threat. So
That's not real.
That's not real. And you're perceiving things that could go wrong. You're perceiving things that could hurt you. You're perceiving things that haven't even happened yet. You might even have opportunities, and you're looking at everything that can hurt you, right?
They can go wrong instead of
That
going
can
right.
go wrong. Please remember, our brains are not designed to make us happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not mine.
Yeah.
I got that straight from Tony Robbins. Like our brains are not designed to make us happy; they're designed to keep us alive.
Yeah.
And what keeps us alive? Well, the
Protecting
avoidance of
ourselves.
death, right? The avoidance of anything that can harm us. So our brain, even if it's a great opportunity, it's naturally going to go to all the ways in which we can get harmed. And that takes no effort.
So I know Tull's anxiety's peaked becoming a mother, and so she thinks that Roller going in a car with someone else is a perceived threat. Her anxiety builds up, and I presume compounds, because then she's already feeling anxious, so she'll look at other things. And the perceived threat is that she's going to lose Roller, or Roller's going to get hurt, or
And at least Tull can identify what the perceived threat is. See, a lot of people don't and can't even identify what the perceived threat is.
Yeah.
They've just got this thing that keeps spinning in their body. Yeah. I like to call it like you've got all these tabs open in your subconscious, all these tabs. And any stimulus that we get might trigger certain tabs to open that we're not even aware of. So, you get stimulus, it goes through your filter, you give it meaning through your subconscious, and then your subconscious produces thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes you won't hear a lot of that process. You'll just see the end result of, I don't know why I feel like this. I can't get out of bed. I can't move. I feel paralyzed. I feel whatever. And yeah, I think it's a roundabout way of describing, because there's no real one definition of anxiety.
I think for me, anxiety shows up a lot in work as procrastination. For me.
Yeah, that's a symptom.
Yeah.
That's a symptom of anxiety. Absolutely. Yeah, because what is procrastination?
Avoidance.
Avoidance of what?
A task that I don't want to do.
Yeah, and what happens when you don't want to do it? That makes you feel uncomfortable.
It does make me feel, and I know I have to do it, and
stress.
Yeah, it's stress compounds, and the anxiety compounds because I still haven't done it. And
stress and worry, and they're all contributing factors to anxiety.
Because like for anxiety, I be exactly what Sarah said. Like now that I've had Roller, my anxiety is like a different level. Like I'm so terrified of something happening to her. I would say I'm a trustworthy person. Like I trust a lot of people, but now I'm like, I don't trust you with my child, which I know I have to like let go. And I think it's quite a common thing in new mums. Like we speak to a lot of new mums, and I feel like it's common. But I also feel when I get anxious, like my heart rate goes up, and then those tabs multiply times 10. Like everything seems like such a big deal.
Yep.
Like even something organized, going to get coffee in the morning for me, like
a huge task.
It's a huge task, and it makes me overwhelmed.
Yeah. So we spoke a little bit about the difference between that yesterday, about so the difference between overwhelm and anxiety, and how
burning out.
And burning out. So can you remember what we spoke about?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think you probably explain it better though.
Yeah, but we'll see how much you can remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, do you want to say how I feel over like I explained?
What's the difference
for me?
How it was explained to you, and see what you can remember of it.
Well, how I feel it in myself, like overwhelm for me is like just scattered, and like I need to organize stuff, and where stress and anxiety, it was burnout. Burnout for me is like going back to like old habits and doing things that I used to do when I was probably not mentally stable. So that's how I see the difference. But I don't know. Yeah.
You described it yesterday as like, I'm okay. It's just that I know I've got a bunch of things I need to prepare every day to get to A, B, C, and D. Yeah. And I know that it takes a lot for me to organize that. Like, I've got to put Roller here. I've got to do this. I've got to get the car. I've got to return the car by 2. I've got to get her by 3. I've got to do this. I've got to be in the studio for this. And that's stress. Yeah. You're whining because I've got to be in all these places. So you're telling your body to be urgent. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You're telling your body there's an urgency.
Pardon me.
But it's very situational. It's understandable. You know why. I just got to get these things done and I'll be okay. Right? But the procrastination part is when there are things that you know you need to do and they're really uncomfortable. Yeah. And you keep putting them off. Why? Well, because they're uncomfortable.
Yeah. Because what if I'm not good at it? I know it's not my strength.
What if I'm not good at it?
Yeah.
So now you're perceiving all these things. And that's when the anxiety starts to kick in.
So I procrastinate even more.
So those thoughts create fear. What if I'm stupid? What if they laugh at me? What if I don't make any money from it? What if, even though I've done it 100 times before? What if on the 101st time I get called out?
But we were having this discussion last night, and then you said it was a self-worth thing.
Yeah, most
That's
things
all
are.
those-
self-worth and self-confidence.
Yeah, which makes so much sense, because another thing that I was speaking about last night is, I don't know how much I can talk about it, but when you get an opportunity, just say it's a design opportunity, I'm obviously a designer, I get nervous that I can never create things as good as what I had previously created. I get like a creative block, and then I'm like not having fun in what I'm doing anymore. I'm putting pressure on myself. And you said it comes down to like a self-worth thing.
Yeah, this is great because it's a real life example of how anxiety works.
Yeah.
It's right here. Like I've done something before, but now I've got this awesome opportunity.
A little bit of pressure sprinkled on.
Yeah.
With a little bit of pressure sprinkled on. Yeah. But either way, it's an opportunity. And I said to Tal, you can either turn left or right. Yeah. But you've got a predetermined program that you go to, and most of us do, that anything that you've done before is irrelevant. Yeah. Any proof that you've gathered throughout the years goes out the window. You start looking for all the ways that this could go wrong, and this could slip through your fingers, or this is a time where you finally prove that you just haven't got it anymore. Yeah. And that's natural for you, and it's natural for a lot of people. Like I said, anxiety creates things that aren't real in order to protect us from the perception that might go south.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a preparation for the worst. And if you're prepared for it, you're either going to avoid it, which is what most people do. They avoid the difficult conversations in their marriages, in their relationships. They avoid the thing that they need to do in their business. Yeah. Because it's going to be really, 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 really uncomfortable, and they're going to have to be exposed to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
To that. Yeah. It might not be my best work. I might get laughed at. I might have all these, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most people don't want to ever put themselves in that situation. I think I've said in previous podcasts, like, voluntary discomfort is the best training you can do. Like, I'm doing it right now, mind you. So this is great. I fucking hate cameras and social media and all this stuff. Yeah, I hate it. This is not for me. Yeah. Now, part of it is because I come from an era where, we sit at a table and we talk, or we sit on the chairs and we talk, and you meet people through talking. And I realize it's, the way of the world now. It's different. Yeah. And I work on flow. I don't work on cue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a lot on cue. So it gets me scared, real scared. And so then I get scared, and then my brain goes into, he's scared. Let's give him all the reasons why he should be scared. Yeah. Let's give him all the reasons why he should be anxious. Had it coming over here. And literally, I'm in the spotlight now. There are spotlights on me. Yeah. What if you start mumbling? What if you start, what if you get tongue-tied? What if you actually don't know how to answer?
Yeah.
What if it all comes crumbling down? What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And these are thoughts that are just going on.
Back here. These are thoughts that have been around for as long as I have. Yeah. And they're automatic. So anxiety is automatic. Self-worth is training. And if you don't train on it, if you don't put yourself in uncomfortable situations where the spotlight comes on, you'll never be able to bring this guy up and out. What did I say to you yesterday? Yeah, this is a blessing, this opportunity, because it's brought Barbara up and it's brought Barbara out, and now you can actually talk to her.
Yeah, Barbara's the person inside my head, if anyone's listening.
Yeah.
We named her.
Yeah, you can actually bring her up and out, and you can actually have a conversation with her. Yeah, and then you can do things like ask her for proof. Well, what proof do you have? Yeah, what proof do you have that it's going to go that way? And this is what I train people to do all the time. Like, you've got to have a relationship with your default setting. Yeah. Right? Because that's the setting that drives everything. That voice back there, if I don't train it, 100% that's what drives the and he was trying on the way here. Yeah. But it's also the reason why I do this is because I have access to him, because I know I'm coming here to do something that makes me severely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So apart from doing things...
so then I end up loving it.
Yeah. Yeah. From doing things that...
Apart from doing things?
That are uncomfortable.
Yep.
Like...
Yep.
how else can you build your self-worth? Or what are some examples? People can be like, I need to build up my self-worth and self-confidence. So
Great.
that voice in my head is louder than the one saying, you can't do this, you're not good enough. How do I train the good voice?
Well, first you've got to be aware of it. So if you're not aware of it, it's a very hard thing to do.
And what's that person always saying to you?
And what's that person always saying? We said before, like for a lot of people, they're anxious and they genuinely don't know why. They're genuinely terrified and they don't know why consciously, or they know why subconsciously.
If they kept asking.
If they kept asking, if they slowed down, if they asked for help, if they were really, really honest with themselves, they know why. But anxiety doesn't let you know why, because then you'll go and sort it out, and that's akin to stepping into the fire, which will potentially kill you. So I'm not going to let you do that. So I'm going to keep you here saying, I don't know, 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 fuck, I don't know, cigarette, vape, internet,
stimulating,
unhealthy habits.
Yeah.
Let me do this, let me do that. Radio on in the background, TV on in the background, no noise. Headphones in your head, in your ears before you go to bed.
Oh my God, that stresses me out. Yeah.
You can only, and so anxiety can actually be really, really good because it's bodily excitement. It's telling you something needs to change. Something has to happen here. Yeah. But if you don't have the support around it, so anxiety is excitement without support. If you don't have support around it, it can hurt you, and it can actually make you really, really sick because you can't be in that state for too long.
Yeah.
That flight state.
Yeah.
You can't be there for too long.
Yeah.
It's like, get away from the threat. Good, we're back at camp. All good.
For someone listening or watching though,
You asked me the question about what can we do.
yeah, what to get you have to know it, right?
So firstly,
turn left.
So firstly, you have to
Awareness.
You have to know it. So you've got to be brave.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to be brave.
People would be like initially you would be like, I'm feeling anxious, and I'd be like, oh, why? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And if that starts to become a problem where it's really impacting your life, you've got to be brave. Yeah. And you've got to ask the question. So number one would be to slow everything down. Yeah. Number two would be to ask for help. Yeah. So there's a big topic, and I know like it was discussed on Rogan a while ago about, a talking therapy is more harm than good. Because, you're just talking about your problems and that just reinforces them. And all you need to do is just get up and move. To a point, I agree. And to a point, I don't. Yeah. Everything has its place. Yeah. If you sit with someone and you're with them for years and you're talking about the same shit and there's not any progress and there's not any challenge and there's not any growth, run.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not meant to be just, oh, so how does that make you feel?
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel? Oh,
you need tools.
So if it's just, if it's just how does it make you feel? That's great because it's part of unconditional positive regard. But there's also got to be some other things there too. Yeah. But it can't be straight up challenge either. Yeah. So.
Because then you're setting yourself up to fail, which reinforces the anxiety in your head.
Exactly. So if you come to me and I see the problem in 5 minutes and I can see it and go, I know what this is. And I say, Sarah, listen, grow up. Yeah, you need to grow up. Yeah. You're this, you're that, you're the other. It started when you were 7, blah, 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 blah. You need to grow up. You need to do this. You need to do that. What are you going to do? Look, your chin's already moving backwards. Like, what would you do?
Feel overwhelmed.
And you'd say,
fuck that.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Because what haven't I done?
Given me space.
I haven't given you space. I haven't listened to you. And one of the best ways to get through anxiety is to give it space to tell you what the fuck it's trying to say. And you need that space and someone skilled who can actually bring that up and validate it for you. Not like validate what you're doing to yourself, but validate what the feeling's trying to tell you. Feelings are always lying to you. They're not true. We cover this, right?
Yep.
Feelings are a guide. They're not reality. Yeah, but we live in a world now where I think we give way too much currency to as feelings being the truth. Well, they're not. They're just a guide. So number 2 would be go and sit with someone who does this shit.
Yep.
Yeah, and be brave. Yeah, be brave and just go in there and say, I feel this way and I don't know why. And let that person that you're sitting across from do their thing. Yeah, they'll do their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good therapist will get you in touch with your body. Okay, where are you feeling it? What color is it? Yeah, does it have a name, Barbara? Does it have a shape? Okay, what shape is it? Can we draw it? Yeah, can we draw the shape if you can't hear it? Yeah, okay, let's draw it. Oh, it looks like this. So what do you see? I see death. I see fear. Okay, let's go there. Like, is it someone dying that scares you? What can you attach something there? And they'll be like, oh my God, I'm scared that I'm never going to be anything and I'm going to die one day and no one will remember me, for instance. And then just in those moments, like I've seen it time and time and time and time again, all you need to do is set up the right conditions for that conversation to take place and for that person to feel safe enough to share with you, this is what really scares me and I know you're not going to hurt me with that. So what is therapy? It is you come to me, you share with me that something that would often get you a particular result, and my job is to counter-transfer back a result that you've never had before, but it's the one that you've always needed. And for most of us, it's what? Validation, acceptance, non-judgment, and that kind of space where we can actually forgive ourselves for how we've treated ourselves over this period of time. That forgiveness. If you can't forgive yourself, you never move on. If you can't validate that part of yourself, you'll forever blame it and judge it and reject it, right? And all you're doing by doing that is feeding it. Yeah, because all you're doing is rejecting yourself.
Yeah.
You're now rejecting yourself like whoever it was in your life that rejected you to create that feeling in the first place. Now you're taking the baton and doing it to yourself. So every time you try and throw it away, it's a mini rejection. That's what kills your confidence. That's what kills your worth.
Yeah.
So number 2, sorry, it's long-winded, but that's okay, is to go and sit with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number one's awareness.
Number one is bravery.
Bravery.
Now, you've got to be brave, and I think for most people, I've said this before, it's when the pain of staying the same is less scary. Sorry, when the pain of staying the same is more scary than the pain of change.
Oh, that's the 100% the reason why I saw you, because I wanted my life to be different.
Yeah.
I was stuck in this position. I was like, I'm sick of feeling this way.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I've lived this way for a very long time. I need to live a different way.
Yeah.
I need change.
Yeah. Yeah. And most people will only ever move when it gets to rock bottom. So I cannot stay here a minute longer. I cannot. And that's when the body designs, motivation. It floods you with switches, which fire up your receptors and get you up so that you don't die and gets you moving. But equally, when you're too high up, and you get to a level of success, procrastination, imposter syndrome, you get to a level here and your body's like, oh, hang on a minute, it's way too fucking hot up here, way too hot. Are you normal? What's going on? Do you not see? You're going to get exposed. You're going to get ridiculed. You're going to have haters. You're going to get a Reddit page. I've discovered these cesspools of recent times of, sites dedicated to hating on people. I actually couldn't, again, because I'm not on these things a lot. I actually couldn't believe it.
It's wild.
I couldn't. People make a living off
bringing others down.
Of chopping the heads off people that are doing well, who would swap places with them in a heartbeat if they could, and that's really the reason why they're doing it. Yeah, it's wild to me. So then when the temperature gets too hot, your brain does the same thing. It says, too hot, you're going to get decapitated, imposter syndrome, don't do it, don't take it. So I'm going to give you all the reasons why you shouldn't take that opportunity. You're not that creative. that was a fluke. Yeah. Chow really wasn't anything to do with us. It just kind of happened. So you're essentially taking no responsibility for how cool that drop was.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not assigning any proof to what just happened. You're calling it a fluke. And here's the thing, right? We never ask for proof when it comes to anxiety. Yeah. But we always, for it to happen, but we always need an abundance of proof that it's going to be perfect if we need to try something that's good for us or something that's going to propel us. Procrastination. We never need the proof for the negative thing.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need proof to go left.
Yeah.
To, oh my God, what if I'm not creative anymore?
Yeah,
Oh
what
my
if I
God,
can't-
what if I can't do it? What if it can't be as cool as Chow? What if that was just a one-off? Where's your fucking proof? But you don't. When we get in that state, we don't even look for proof. We don't ask for proof. We just go with it.
Yeah. Literally.
Literally, we just let it go because we think our feelings are our reality. But what do we know about feelings, right?
That they're not real.
They're not real. And
And
what
we
do we
can
know about reality?
Reality's not real, and we can change it at any time
Why?
because we
Change
can.
your thoughts.
What's our reality but our?
Thoughts.
And what are our thoughts? Our thoughts are automatic most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's automatic based off, that
The
blueprint,
subconscious.
the blueprint, the subconscious, these things triggering. Change that at any
All
time.
these beliefs.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I've learned from working with you for a couple of years.
It's been a couple of years now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The way
You
we
are so different. Jesus.
the way we all move in the world, we're running off a belief system that was me, probably a 7-year-old, Tully, probably a
We said
10-year-old.
12. Yeah.
So our subconscious is someone driving our car that age. So like if I didn't have an awareness, when I get angry, frustrated, reacting, I'm reacting from a 7-year-old girl's perspective because that's when my subconscious formed these beliefs of, you're not good enough. You need to keep the peace. You need to look after everyone else before you, like everyone has to be happy. I was like, that happened when I was 7. Who was that before those beliefs were formed?
That's a little girl just running around trying to be liked.
Before she had the
Yep.
Yeah.
That's when you go, for me, and talking about perfectionism and perfectionism being like fear disguised,
Yeah.
external validation for people pleasers is really important. So that's something.
It's actually a lack of worth disguise.
Exactly. That is, I've had to work on my self-worth so much because I was trying to get it externally. So then I was always getting it frustrated or people or
I've done all this for them. Why don't they do anything for me?
Yep. So I had very little, and it's taken time to build up that self-worth. Like now if something happens to me, I'm like, oh well, I'm not a bad person. Keep on moving on. I know I'm good.
Yeah. Oh well, the post is not going to be perfect. Post it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because part of it is that consistency that if you keep going, you're going to crack. You're going this is for anyone. Yeah. If you have a clear goal in mind of what you want to achieve, and you put small, consistent. What's our formula?
Small, consistent actions over time equals success.
Yeah. Towards that thing, it can't not work. It's a universal principle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether it's you want to get fitter, like small, consistent actions would be exercising over the every day. Over time, that compounds.
Yeah.
You're going to get fitter.
But then you reach a bubble.
Yeah.
You reach a ceiling. My ceiling was, now I need to start doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I need to start thinking about what really scares me. And I know what it is. I know what really scares me. Yeah. Should I share it?
Wow.
Up
yeah.
to you.
Up to you.
Yeah. But I know what really scares me.
Yeah.
Because I work. So think about it. I work behind the scenes. I'm a behind the scenes guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on. I don't have a social media presence. I don't need one. Yeah. I'm everyone's behind the scenes guy. So what do you think? My fear is?
Scared of people's. I don't know.
Well, coming out from behind the curtain and actually sharing,
being seen,
and being actually sharing my knowledge on a not my knowledge, but sharing my experience on a much
broader scale
with 15 cameras staring at me and things that I'm just not used to. I'm not used to working like this. Yeah. and other mediums that would get to, you know, that we've spoken about, that will potentially get to a lot of people. Yeah, I know what it is that scares me, and because I'm not used to it and I don't understand it, my body goes straight to, you should be afraid of it.
Because you're not used to it.
And most people, when they get to that bubble, they turn back.
Yeah.
Whether it's at the starting point or whatever. Yeah. There's so many people that I've worked with. Yeah. That have gone up to the edge of the cliff and they've turned around and walked away right when they were about to get what they wanted.
It's too hard.
They freak out.
Yes.
They get to that bubble point
have
where
to change.
they have to change.
Yeah.
And they have to do something like sit in front of the glowing lights. Yeah. Like be a deer in the headlights and work with Barbara.
Yeah.
Like I'm working with my version of Barbara while I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the trick for people who are like, mine's Sally? So yours is
Sally,
mine's
Barbara.
Sally.
Yeah.
What's the trick for someone listening by naming that other voice
Oh,
in
it's
your head?
fantastic
Yeah,
because
that's a good
it gives them a personality. Yeah, it gives it something you can attach to and relate to and have So basically, we're trying to have a relationship with that part of your body that keeps telling you that A, you're not good enough, B, you're going to get humiliated, and C, you're going to get rejected and abandoned. Yeah, and essentially hurt and potentially die.
Because they're not you.
So you want to have a relationship with that person inside your head.
You actually have to. It's not that you want to. Yeah, and you know, you can quote me on this one. You have to have a relationship with that part of you. What a lot of us try and do is bury that or shame that or push that, like I said before, or medicate that for a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people medicate Barbara. Right?
I've thought about it over the last 2 weeks.
But Barbara doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Barbara just learns how to kind of put a straw in her mouth and breathe underwater. She's very patient, isn't she?
me.
Isn't Barb patient? She's very patient. Yeah.
Just when something good comes along, she's like, bang.
Just
I'm
the
back.
right,
True.
I'm
right
back.
at the right. I'm back.
Yeah.
Back, bitches. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you've got to have an ongoing working relationship with your trauma, anxiety, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. If you don't know what your trauma is, how can you have a relationship with it?
Yeah.
You're just going to run from it. It's going to terrify you, or you're not going to know what it is and you're going to think you're crazy. So then, yeah, that's where medication comes in. And medication has its place. Yeah. Because once you get so far out into the bush, sometimes you don't even know where to start to come back.
Yeah.
So it has its place. But for a lot of people, they use it as the solution. I feel great.
Yeah.
Or, my God, this is the first time my brain's been quiet.
So you have to be brave.
Bravery.
I'm going to say you're going to have to name it before you see someone. That's my personal opinion.
Okay. Yeah.
Name it.
Yeah. Be brave. But I think in the process of seeing that person, that's when you start to get to know what that actual thing is. And then you can give it a name. That's always been my thing. But your way can work too. Maybe we're starting a new thing here.
Yeah.
I think, the people that watch this can actually name that feeling. Give it a name. Yeah, sure.
And
that works.
See someone.
See someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't get trapped there.
Yeah.
Either see someone, and another thing, we spoke about this with Indy. Don't just settle for the first person you see either. Yeah. If it feels like it's not the right fit, ask yourself a question: am I running from this, or is this just not my person?
Yeah.
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 And if it's just not your person, then
Move on.
Yeah.
tell them, sorry, like this is not you. I don't feel and if that person you're talking to has any credibility as a practitioner, they're going to be able to handle that conversation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they probably should choose another job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then it is to work on your self-worth and self-belief, which comes from doing things that are uncomfortable.
You need to be able to access. So I think before that, we name it, and then we start to allow her into our life. When I say her, I'm just going to use Barbara as an example. We need to allow Barbara into our lives so we can work with her. Yeah. So you do that.
Build that
Form the
relationship.
relationship.
Form that relationship. So we do that first with the work we do. Then I get you to go out as part of, like, it's not just therapy that I do. It's strategy as well. So it's part of the Mind Ninja thing. It's a combination of therapy, NLP, strategy, martial arts, the whole thing. It's a whole package. So it's designed to firstly bring you out and then get you moving and then get you building.
So do you mean you set a task to make that person feel uncomfortable in a situation?
I'll set you a task. I might set you a task of first thing in the morning. Yeah, you might invite her to come along with you for your walk instead of shutting her out and rejecting her. And I mean, that's just one example off the top of my head. Yeah, I might set little tasks. I might get you to write down what it is that she's trying to tell you. I might get you to have a look at maybe thanking her for looking after you, because all she's trying to do is look after you. But it's just not. It's not like the help doesn't fit the life experience that you're in right now. Yeah?
She sounds like she wants to help you, but she doesn't want to see you grow.
Her helping you is to stop you growing.
Yeah.
That's her help.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because growth equals discomfort.
Yeah.
Discomfort equals friction. Friction equals growth. Yeah. But all those things are also can equal death. And hers is, well, I don't want you to die. So I don't want you to go anywhere near those things that could potentially make you feel uncomfortable, cause friction, get you embarrassed, make you feel like you're being worthless, or remember what we said, head above the parapet, and it gets lobbed off. Well, I don't want that for you, so we stay.
That makes sense.
Why do you think there's so much divorce? Why do you think there's so much unhappiness in the workplace? Why do you think there's so much bitching? There's so much office drama. There's so much
social media drama.
Why do you think Twitter is $1 trillion business? Go on there and just read some of the comments one day.
Why?
Well, because we're not creating the friction in the right way. Meaning, so we need friction to feel alive, but we're also afraid of friction because it feels hard, and so we equate it to being uncomfortable, and we want to feel safe. You can't grow and feel safe at the same time. So we create that friction in a safe way. Drama. Twitter, drama. Telling someone that they don't know shit.
Reddit,
drama. Work politics. Gossip. Talking about other people. Yeah?
Because you're not growing in your life.
And always remember, if they're talking about someone else in front of you, they're also talking about you when you're not there. Always remember that. Yeah? And so we create that because we need that friction. Yeah. We need certainty, but then we also need to spice things up. We need friction to feel alive. Yep. And if we're not getting it in a positive way by growing a business, growing ourselves, doing some art form where you're being pushed and challenged, where you're working on Barbara, because Barbara's going to come out, in a safe space, then you'll find it another way. And that is through whinging, complaining, blaming, finding fault in others, like I said, office politics, the gossip, all that sort of shit, which goes nowhere. And these people that do this social media, they're so smart because they know this about us. They're so smart. The multi-trillion-dollar industries. They play off our insecurities. They're brilliant. It's brilliant. If we all, I hope I don't get sniped for this. Like if we all just put that away and put that energy back into ourselves, if we stopped worrying about how old Joe Biden was, and having a comment about, whatever else dominates Twitter, like about,
the shoes Kamala Harris wears.
Or TMZ type stuff.
Yep.
There's a reason why these programs are so popular.
True.
If we all just took a step back and went, if I put that energy into developing something for me, if we all had this awareness that we're going to die really soon and no one's going to remember us, what the fuck are you so afraid of now? You'll be dead soon and no one's going to remember you. That should scare you. Scared of trying? Like, put your phone down and go and put that tweet, that energy back this way into yourself.
As soon as you say you're scared of trying, my head goes, yeah, because what if you fail? What if
you fail? Which leads to fear of failure.
Yeah.
And what do we know about fear of failure, right? We've covered this one recently. What do we know about fear of failure? It's actually more a fear of
success.
Why?
For me?
Yeah. For you, yeah.
I don't, imposter syndrome. I don't feel like I deserve it, and I'll know how to handle it, and I feel like it will go away.
I feel like I'll lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that scarcity.
Yeah. Imposter syndrome.
How do you hold on to it once you've got it?
And do you know what I heard the other day about imposter syndrome? It's actually a great sign because it's telling you you're on the right path.
Oh, great.
That's good.
Yeah. What's telling you're on the right path? If you're feeling like an imposter, it's because you're doing great things. And now your ego, Barbara's trying to tell you, you can't do these things.
Yeah.
Come back here where it's safe and warm. Let me cuddle you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me put you back to bed. Come on.
Yeah.
You can't do that anyway.
It's so interesting.
They think you're stupid, don't you know?
Yeah.
They think you're stupid. They're all going to find out. They're all going to find out. Just stay here. Better to be presumed stupid than open your mouth and remove all doubt. So just come.
Yes.
Come. It's why most people don't do anything.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't try. If we all just took that time that we put into all that shit to avoid what it is, it's the only thing we're avoiding, to avoid what it is that we need to do, and we put that energy into taking those small steps to improve ourselves. What did Andrew Huberman say? I heard something a while ago. Like, if we all got 8 hours of sleep, ate semi-clean, went to the gym 3 times a week, walked 5 to 10 Ks a day, and read a chapter of a book, like,
the world would be a happier place.
The world would be a much
better place.
Much different place. But unfortunately, we're governed by fear. Because our need to survive, overrules everything else. You saw what happened during COVID. When COVID hit, what happened?
Fear.
Pandemonium.
Yeah.
Because our need to survive kicked in, the fear, and we were behaving. Look at the way we were behaving.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
Like that scene out of Mean Girls where they're all like,
toilet paper all of a sudden became hot property. Like, you know what I mean? So it's interesting. But I want to go back, Tal, like, I always find in situations like this, real life stories matter more than like anecdotes and quotes. Because who cares about quotes?
Yeah.
Go on Instagram and there's a quote for everything. Give me a quote on anxiety.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. Yeah. But what that shit can never give you, and what all those people that do those podcasts and whatever can never give you, is the in real time examples. So that's why I love that we're doing this, because last night I think was really powerful for you. And you said, I think I want to share that.
Yeah.
I think that'll help much more as well. So what do we got? We've got bravery, help,
naming, and
then
building up your worth and confidence.
And then building up through self-care.
Yep.
And self-care is split into 2, and that is doing things that are good for you and being kind to yourself. And the second part of self-care is putting yourself in in an uncomfortable situation to figure out where the wound is.
To grow.
So that you can have a relationship with that wound. Yeah. Grab its hand and say, let's go.
Yeah.
Now I got you. No one can hurt you anymore. And that's how you create a sense of being bulletproof.
Do you think this will help your anxiety moving forward? This conversation. What are your takeaways from this?
I love that.
From this one now or last night?
Both.
Well, just for me, I really, and I know this, like, I really have to train my brain more.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
and I know this in some
and I know
areas.
you know this
I
already.
know.
Yeah.
In some areas of my life, like when we left last night, I said to Sarah, I'm like, oh my God, I've been doing this work since I was like 15.
Yes.
Like with my eating disorder.
Yeah.
Like the moment that I look in the mirror and I'm like, fuck, Tully, you look fat today. I'm like, what the fuck? Stop. Like, I don't look fat. That is just a story that you're creating inside my brain. Like, so I know I constantly talk back and forth to myself. that sounds, but listening to Barbara and stuff.
Yeah.
So
That doesn't sound crazy. Can we get over this thing about talking to ourselves is crazy?
Yeah.
How do we do anything in life if we're not talking to ourselves?
Yeah.
So can we get over this thing where talking to yourself is considered somehow you're a Fruit Loop?
Yeah.
How do you make any decision in life?
Yeah.
How do you know who somebody is and how you feel about them? How do you know what a situation is and how you feel about it? How do you know when you're safe?
Because you communicate.
True.
with
Because you're
yourself.
communicating with yourself. It's just you can't. It's so quiet and it's so automatic that you can't even hear it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with anxiety sometimes, is it's happening so quietly and so automatically because you've done it a million times.
Yes.
And you can't even hear it.
Yeah.
But you've done the work.
Yeah.
And you know who Barb is and you can hear her when
Yeah.
she's talking to you. So
Yeah.
what happened last night? So
So-
go through it.
I realized that my anxiety or my self-worth with a project that we've got coming up and my freaking out and stuff is Barbara.
Yes.
I didn't realize that before. And you taught me to either go right or go left.
Yeah.
And build a relationship with her, which you've obviously just spoken about then. I never realized to do that. I just thought she was evil and she
Needs to die.
needs to go away. Like I thought, and I know I've done the work, but I thought my job with those inner thoughts was to like delete her, like get rid of her, like make her melt.
You'll
and
never be able to
diminish.
delete
Obsolete.
Yeah, and that's what I thought the
That's
work was.
rejection.
Yeah, but by speaking to you last night, I was like, okay, I have to build a relationship with her.
I've got a question then. Because you thought you had to delete her every time she popped up, were you like, fuck, there she is again. Why haven't you gone
Probably,
yet?
but I was
Yeah.
kind of more like overriding her, like in a way, which is
Rejecting
what,
her, yeah,
rejecting
yeah.
her, be like, fuck off, like I'm not fat, I'm amazing or whatever.
Yeah.
So
And it's a simple tweak there.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, we don't need to do that anymore.
yeah,
Yeah. No one's coming after us. Remember, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we got this. Yeah. Remember, we're great. We're powerful. We're this. We're that. We're going for it today.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing it. You can either come with me or you can you
Yeah.
can sit here.
yeah,
Yeah. It's that. So you're not validating it by having a relationship with it. You're just acknowledging that you're not kind of promoting it. You're just acknowledging and validating that it's there, acknowledging it, but then doing the positive thing anyway.
Yeah.
So what did we do when we said, okay, left, right?
Yeah.
Right is easy because it just takes you down Barbara Street.
yeah.
And then what did we, so to turn left, what was the activity we did?
So to change my language inside my brain.
Good. To change your language. And
Yeah.
Can you remember what that was? Some of the language that we changed?
Yeah, like I am. Use the word like I am cool. What was the other one?
Styly.
I'm styly. I can design. I've done this before. I can do it again. Just reinforcing that I have done it before, so I can do it again. I am like worth it. I would maybe that's like the little like the I am worth it, and that's left. And
Yeah.
just don't go the right way. In my head, I'm like right way is easy, left is hard, and I'm worthy. I know I can do it. I've done it before.
Absolutely. We've got to check our spelling. We've got to check what we spell into the world, right?
Yeah.
Our words are so powerful. So, go, Ra.
My big takeaway, and it's one thing that I wanted to talk on, was how you were just like saying to tell what else. The more reasons you give to why you are worthy and you can do it, the more power and more self-confidence and
100%,
belief.
yeah.
Like if you think of 3, you're like, or 1, you're like, but if you think of 8, you're like, fuck yeah, I've got 8 reasons why.
Yeah.
It's like what we spoke about at the table the other day, like when you got worried about something that was irrational,
Yeah.
how did you get out of it? Remember?
Yeah, I just think of all the
If someone doesn't answer their phone,
reasons why. Like maybe their phone was on silent, maybe they were playing with the kids, maybe they were exercising,
Yeah,
maybe
they
they're on
just
the
didn't wa-
toilet, maybe they didn't want to answer.
Maybe they just don't want to talk to you right now.
Because
Yeah.
that's another thing, and I know some people that get, if I call my sister or my mum or my dad and they don't answer, automatically I think something's happened. And then I call again. I'm like, oh my God. So then, I just have to think of reasons why they might not have answered.
Yeah.
And it helps so much.
And it's the same sort of thing. Yeah. Stop. When you explicate, it's almost like the final stage. It is now real. And so you were saying all those things. yeah, but what if, what if it doesn't this, and what if it doesn't that, and what if it, and I had to stop you and say, hey, like, we've got to change your language, because nothing of that is cemented in proof. So let's use proof-based language, meaning let's look at all the stuff that we do know, that we can use, that can help swing that around, and prove to Barbara that actually what you're doing isn't going to help me here. I am cool, I have got, these are mine. These are the things that I said to Tyler. I said, you are cool. You've got style, You're charismatic. You're magnetic, the way you match colors and stuff. It's just fucking cool, When you don't think about it and you're just out in your drip, it's cool. It's why people follow you, and it's effortless. And I felt like the Chow series was a reflection of that effortlessness and the fun you have in dress up.
Yeah.
Just when you dress up. And you're not really thinking about it, you just dress up. You do, it's almost like an extension of who you are as a person. There's no effort, it's just who you are. And you were trying to tell me that I don't know how to do who I am.
Yeah, literally. I was like, I don't know how to do who I am or what I do. Like, I made an example of,
That's
when
how
you
crazy anxiety is, by the way.
I gave an example of, like, when you watch the movies and someone is an author and they're writing a book and they just have a creative block and they can't think of anything. I'm like, that's what I feel like times 100. That nothing's going to come to me.
But you haven't had the block.
I know.
It's not like
you're preempting the block.
I know.
That's anxiety, by the way.
Yeah.
That's the best way to describe it. You're preempting something, and then you're telling your body, hey, produce all these hormones and feelings and fears and whatever, because we can't go through with this because she's going to have a block and it's all going to fall apart and we're going to get exposed and brands will never want to work with us again. So let's just do it now before.
And this is when thoughts become your reality. Then you become a block. There's a block.
Then it ends up happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I learned this, when this one dawned on me, like it was something Sensei taught me a long time ago, as humans, we're so good at creating things. We're creation machines. We're manifesting monsters. Everything in your life right now is because you manifested it. Positive, negative, otherwise, whatever. You did it. It's not nobody else's fault. That's you as an adult. This is your life. You created it through your thoughts, feelings, actions, beliefs, movements.
Yeah.
So we're good at creating. We're not good at controlling what we create. We're not good at taking ownership for what we've created. We like to blame it. But if we could slow down and understand how those movements there may affect what we do in 3 months' time, that's powerful.
Yeah.
What we did last night is going to have such positive impacts for you in a couple of months' time, right? Because you're going to get, but most people don't. They just spout out a whole bunch of shit about how crap they are and how crap their life is and how they're not skilled at anything and how they're just bang average and they're not funny and they're not interesting and they'll never be loved and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and then they realize, hang on, and then they're surprised in 6 months, like, a whole bunch of really negative things are happening.
To them, yeah.
Because they
wonder why.
Yeah, and they think it's their. You're blaming your wife for that.
Yeah.
You're blaming your kids for that.
Yeah.
How many kids I get asked to work with?
Oh, really?
The kids I get asked to work with, and you know what my answer is. I think we've spoken about this before.
I'll speak to the parent.
I'll speak. Why don't you guys come in and leave the kids at home?
Yeah.
I've got no doubt that there's something going on for the kids. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
But why don't you come and sit down? Let me find out what's going on with you two. And
like in their relationship?
It's just in their lives.
Yeah, okay.
In their lives. And yeah, definitely in their relationship, but in their lives. What's going on for you two? Yeah? Because if your 5-year-old's reacting like that, they're probably not reacting like that because there's a whole bunch of joy. There's a whole bunch of joy, connection, and like effort being put in. There's probably a whole bunch of stress. There's probably a whole bunch of negativity. There's probably a whole bunch of, oh, I don't really want to be doing this. Why am I doing this? Oh my God, this guy's so annoying. Oh my God, that's so annoying. Oh, yeah. And then what? You want your kid to be normal, your kid's going to act up because they're looking for you for safety, security, and comfort. And you're not doing that. So they do the only thing that they know in that situation, and it's to keep testing that boundary. Yeah, they're scared. Can't tell you the amount of times where the top, in family systems, when the top subsystem corrects itself, how that flows down and the kids self-regulate so quickly.
Yeah.
Well, when mum's got energy, sorry, you're not getting away with that anymore. When mum's got energy, she's going to put time into you, and it's going to be meaningful. And kids don't lie at that age, like with their words and all that sort of stuff. They say what they mean, and everything's quite pure.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can pick up on that stuff. Yeah. So if you're not being genuine with them, they just see right through you.
Yeah, that's true.
And so they'll feel it from you. Because they'll feel and they'll know that you're there. Your phone will be away. You'll be with them. You'll have that energy. All right, pack everything up. Be ready. Be in the car in 5 minutes. We're going. We're doing this. Yeah. Because you've got energy. Like, a lot of mums, they'll tell themselves that self-care is... How are we getting here?
Yeah.
That self-care is something to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
Right? So they will never do it. And then they'll start getting anxious because they've told themselves so many times they should never do it.
That's true.
Right? Yeah. And that's where just be aware of how you are doing things now is going to affect what your life is going to be like in 6 months' time.
That's so
Yeah. And that's what I was doing with Tal last night. It was, you've got to be aware of how those words, if you keep using them, are going to affect you in 3 months. And that's why
You're not going to see the instant change.
No, you're not.
It's not going to happen overnight, but in time you will see
You
it.
won't. And I think that's why, there's never the consequence is never immediate for this stuff with mental health. It's like poison over time until you get sick, and then that becomes your only focus. It's like everything matters until you get sick.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah, and then when you get sick,
That's all
that's
that
the
matters.
only thing that matters.
Yeah.
That we are like that as people.
Very
Yeah.
true.
And that's why yesterday was so powerful for you, Tal, because we caught you in action.
Yeah.
We caught you in action when you were saying those words. It was like, you keep going down that path. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just repeating myself now.
No,
But you caught those words and you're like, wow, okay. Whoa, all right. Yeah, you're right. I am all those things.
Yeah.
And I've done all those things. It's actually who I am.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of now you either want to believe it. Yeah. Now it's just a matter of choosing.
Yeah.
You want to believe it because you've done it 100 times before.
I know.
You play dress ups every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every day.
And now I
You're
get to
playing
dress up my
today.
daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you're
True.
playing dress ups today. Like
Yeah.
everything you wear is always cool.
Yeah.
Why? Because it suits you so well. Other people try and pull it off. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just won't work.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Very true.
Very
Yeah.
true.
I can feel the wind up happening. So,
No, I was going to say thank you. And
you are so welcome. And sorry if I waffled on
No, I love.
too long, but hopefully you can take a little something from it.
Yeah. I think
and do you
so.
know what? If you take anything from it, we all have that voice inside our head.
Yeah.
Like, you're not
Don't be scared of it. We've all got it.
exactly.
I think it's comforting. I was going to say this halfway through the conversation, but there was no point. But I think it's comforting to know that you have the same thoughts and conversations in your head as what we do. I think a lot of people are like, he's a therapist, like
Yeah,
whatever.
Or they've got their shit together.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's not true. We literally all deal with
Yeah.
the same thing, just in different forms.
Yep.
No, the best practitioners are the ones that understand what theirs are and
Yeah.
actively work on them, and they don't use their clients to shield them from that, and where the work becomes about healing their own trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the best practitioners will tell you, no. Oh, you kidding?
Yeah.
No, but I actively work on them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Actively, not just in my life, but I actively pay lots of money
Yeah.
to people to call me out on these things and to pull me up and to make me uncomfortable and to suggest things for me to try.
Yeah. Like this.
Thank you, Sol.
Thank you so
girls.
much.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a good one. I liked that. I think it's
And watch out for more soul.
yes.
That's all I'm going to say. Maybe some soul sessions.
Soul sessions. I like that.
Soul sessions.
That's actually a really good name.
Yeah.